Your psychological warfare against you began when you were a small child. The biggest violation of humankind was waged on the United States children, and that was called Cowboys and Indians. What that was psychosis and Indians. And they haven't stopped waging that warfare on you ever since. You still think the Indians were the problem. Really? When it's suggested that you close your eyes, there is a very good reason for it. This is all about removing backgrounds. You're not going to be able to remove any backgrounds if you keep your eyes open. Nor are you going to be able to start when you get further into it. So, suggestion, when it's suggested to close your eyes, close your eyes. And don't worry, I'll tell you when to open your eyes. You still think the Indians were the problem. Try this. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Keep them closed. I want you to picture the Indians. Just the Indians. And everything around is dirt. Just dirt. No buildings, no playgrounds. Dirt. That's what you got. 3,000 miles of dirt. Now, what are the Indians doing? Well, from our recollection, what we've seen, they have teepees. They play, they socialize, and they hunt and eat and protect. That's what they do. They don't have, keep your eyes closed, they don't have thousands of acres or hundreds of acres or even 50 acres of animals caged up. No, that's abuse. That's not what Indians did. Indians lived off the land. When they were hungry, they went and got food. They didn't go get 27 cows and then sell them. They didn't go kill animals and wind up throwing the food out. That's not what they did. That's what psychosis does. It's not what the Indians were doing. The Indians had a small piece of land with their teepees. They were having fun. They were surviving. They were living. They had what was called family. Family. And concern for others. Not just other people. Others. Keep your eyes closed. So that's what was going on. Not a whole lot. They didn't have movie theaters and all this other stuff. They weren't walking around harassing people or bothering people. They were just trying to live on their little piece of land. Probably not even an acre or two, quite frankly, for the tribes. Maybe 3 or 4. Everything's great. And what are they doing? They're getting high. They're smoking a peace pipe. That's what they're doing. They're not getting drunk and beating people up. They're smoking a peace pipe. And they're dancing and they're having fun on their little piece of land. So what happened? Like everything, psychosis happens. You understand? Psychosis comes. You're on our land. Really? Because you can't even walk the 3,000 miles. But see, psychosis wants that piece. Do you understand? Keep your eyes closed. 3,000 miles of dirt. The Indians had a few things going that psychosis can't possibly deal with. 1, family. 2, freedom. 3, choice. 4, peace. None of that is going to work for psychosis. Sorry. And they want your land. Get the hell off of their land now. And take all your shit with you. And we're going to kill you to get you off of your land. Do you understand? That's what they're going to do. That's what psychosis is going to do. Because 3,000 miles of dirt wasn't enough. Because it's not about that. It's only always about control. That's it. Nothing else. Because if they don't control you, you will control them. So they have to control you first. Hence, bullies. Keep your eyes closed. Think. Why would anyone with arrows attack people with guns? None of that is what was going on. No, you got psychosis going on, predators going on, using other people to do their dirty work against innocent people. Keep your eyes closed. Don't open them yet. Still dirt there. Except now there's a lot of dead bodies. So you have to ask yourself, what did they gain? There's nothing there but dirt. What did they gain? There's 3,000 miles of land. What did they gain by these 2 acres? Or 10 acres? Or 1 acre? Nothing. Because it's never about that. That's what they have you thinking it's about. It's not. It's just about control. Nothing else. Everything else is a story that fits into what they want, which is control. And you live by the stories. Keep your eyes closed. The scene has never changed. Ever. Except you're brainwashed to think that the Cowboys were the heroes and the Indians were the problem. But you can't be brainwashed. Keep your eyes closed. So what happens afterwards? How does it work out for psychosis? When psychosis gets nailed, what happens? What happened with the Indians? They had to be paid back. Who paid them back? You. Keep your eyes closed. So if you were one of the Cowboys back then, were you a good guy or a bad guy? You could have been the most conscionable person in the world. They're putting you on a horse and sending you out. Guess where you're going? You're going out. Just like they send the kids to other countries now when they're 18 years old that have a mental capacity of 12 or 13 for making life decisions as far as what risk you're going to take. But psychosis doesn't care. I don't give a shit if you were 9 years old mental capacity. Okay, the law says 18, you're going. Because that's what they do. They use the rules and laws against you, not for you. None of this stuff is for you. Okay? Problems are not for you. They're against you. They're to keep you busy with you. Keep your eyes closed. There's nothing but dirt. Now, when those Cowboys came home, who do you think their wives thought was the good guy? You think that their husbands were murderers and went and murdered Indians? Would their husband do that? No. Why? Because they're a conscionable person. They would never do that. Unless led by psychosis. To think that you're the good guys. Then you will kill the Indians that only have arrows to defend themselves, by the way. Sort of like your hunting game is now. Okay, it's called a game. It's not a game when one has a gun and the other doesn't. That's psychotic is what that is. Okay, that's psychosis, live. That's what you're watching. Keep your eyes closed. All dirt. So what did psychosis have them do? You see, it had nothing to do with the Indians, by the way. They were just a title. It's what they represented. Because they only had arrows. Do you understand? They just had arrows. So there's no reason that they're going to even go after people with guns. And they didn't need land. They didn't need land. They didn't abuse land. They didn't abuse people. They didn't abuse animals. They didn't do any of that stuff. They respected all that stuff. But psychosis doesn't respect anything or anyone. Do you understand? So the Indians represented a problem for psychosis because they represented freedom. They represented family. They represented choice. They represented conscience. Good. So everything that you've learned about evil, keep your eyes closed, is wrapped up in you. You. You're the predator of the planet. And you have no clue. Because they got you when you were a very small child. And they'll never let go. And it's such now that you have no say about you. The smarter you are, the less say you have. I hate to break the news to you. That's the fact. The smarter you are, the more off the ground you are, the less you have. And let me guess, you went to college. Books. In rooms. Question. Any of that college material wind up on your life sheet? Any of it at all? No, because your brain doesn't record that stuff. Do you understand? Keep your eyes closed. Don't open your eyes yet. You're still looking at dirt, dirt, dirt. The one thing that the Indians represented above all, that was in defiance of psychosis, is choice. Choice. You don't have choice. Psychosis doesn't allow choice. Your handlers don't allow choice. Your choice is a hospital menu that psychosis provides you. You're so deluded as a species that you think that bullies stop being bullies when they get out of school. You ever notice that tracking never takes place after that? I mean, how complicated is that? To track bullies, because they're not going to be good. That's going to be a problem coming. But nobody ever tracks that. Why? Because they're used as tools also. You see, eventually your handlers know that they're going to use them to abuse you to create chaos. See, there's a whole lot of puzzle pieces that go on a board that you don't even know exist. So the Indians were murdered. Do you understand that? Murdered. And you're programmed from a child to think that they were the problem. And you're right. And you were made to feel good about it. You feel good about murdering innocent people. Do you understand? You're the cancer on the planet. And you're training cancerettes to be victimized by themselves. Keep your eyes closed. Nothing but dirt. Nothing but dirt. That's all there was. They weren't getting anything. They weren't getting their livestock. They didn't do that to animals. That was the problem. They didn't abuse. So when your kids look at you, they're looking at a beat down wimp that's beaten into submission to abuse yourself and your children. And Oprah will even pay her children to fight your abusers. How's that sound? And you don't think anything of it. You don't say anything. Because predatory acts are normal to you. Because what's a conscience? I don't know. Now, where did the APA hide the conscience? So why would they hide conscience? It's very simple. That is the humanity part of being, which they do not possess, which they can't even talk about. Therefore, it's not even a subject or a topic, because they don't possess humanity. So how are they going to talk about humanity? They can't. So all they do is attack humanity. Pay attention. They're the ones in the positions that can't feel humanity. So their job is to attack humanity, to make everything more whitewashed so they fit in. They put people like James W. Holden as a career criminal out on the streets intentionally. This is your federal government, Federal Trade Commission. The Consumer Protection Division does that. That's your Consumer Protection Division. Take somebody that stole $10 million from over 24,000 families across the country. They take him to the federal court here in Baltimore, Maryland, which is a corrupt institution, and they let the person back out to commit more crimes. You understand? That's what you're paying for. You understand? You're paying to be abused intentionally with foreknowledge and malice by psychosis. Now, you're also programmed never to look for psychosis. If you want them, they'll be in the mental hospitals. How am I doing, APA? Keep your eyes closed. You still got dirt. Now, look at the blacks. Do you see something similar to the Indians? Well, first of all, neither of them had anything or have anything really. So what is it that they want? See, they don't have anything. Just like the Indians, they didn't have anything. They didn't have livestock or nothing. So what is it that these people want from blacks? The same thing. If you notice, they represent choice, and they refuse to give it up, unlike you all, who surrendered it. Therefore, they are the problem. And guess who they get to go after? The blacks. Well, who did they get to go after? The Indians. Don't you see? It's all psychosis. It has nothing to do with anything else. It's not Americans, not Russians, not people in ISIS. Look, your ISIS groups, if you put the answer to all the people in ISIS and have them recognize, some of them are conscionables that don't realize that they're following unconscionables. Sort of like the Americans do with the whole United States. Yeah, the people in ISIS don't realize either. Neither do the Americans. Keep your eyes closed. It's the same scene. See, you're all trapped in the backgrounds and the stories and shit. You just look at the actions. They're identical. Identical. They attack conscience. They attack humanity. Care, you can't have care. Only if you go through our people that are going to take 30%. Do you understand? That's care. Now, that's not care. That's psychosis. In front of your face, to your face, and have you voting for it. Because you're in control of your life. You're free people. Sure. Except the one problem that they forgot to tell you, that you were psychologically brainwashed. And you're not you. Do you understand that? You are not you. You are a repeating drone. And you're taught by repeating drones from when you're a child. How are you getting anywhere? You can't. You can't. You don't even leave the country, for crying out loud. You'll soon notice that allegations equals confessions. The people directing you to look elsewhere or attack elsewhere, they're the problem. They are the problem. Do you understand? Destroy, rebuild. Destroy, rebuild. You're the inventory. Destroy, rebuild. Destroy, rebuild. 7 billion pieces of inventory. Destroy, rebuild. Destroy, rebuild. Welcome to the United States of Psychosis, who conned and manipulated and brainwashed the United States of American citizens to abuse 7 billion. Rinse and repeat. Destroy, rebuild. Destroy, rebuild. You're all the inventory. Destroy, rebuild. While defending the United States, but there's not even 2 states that are united. That's the whole game. They have everybody pitted against everybody, even you against you. They have you attacking blacks. They have you attacking Indians. Do you understand? You're mindless drones. And how obvious do they make it always? Yeah, blacks are the problem. Blacks are the problem. Yeah, they're the problem. We need them to fight in the war because they're an American citizen. Really? All you've done was abuse them their whole lives. Now all of a sudden you need them. Oh, now they're good all of a sudden. Now the color doesn't matter. Right? Well, guess what? The color doesn't matter. Okay? Because there's only 2 things. Conscionable, unconscionable. which proves that color doesn't matter, that unconscionable use color to manipulate conscionable. Morons. Moron. That's you. Keep watching your news. Now, open your eyes. Where the hell do you think you are? And what is all this stuff? How much of it is needed? Did the Indians go to college? No. That's training grounds to abuse. That's what college is. They were just living, not abusing, living. You're under abuse rule and abuse law, because now they make it's the law. They come up with crazy shit and they say, oh, it's the law. Well, that's how they're going to incarcerate you in the future. Psycho bombs. You see, the people that look at somebody like Donnie, who goes out and says, listen, I can kill people right in the street and my people will still support me. Yeah, he's basically insulting people and confirming that they're completely brainwashed. Okay? That's all that is. So he's insulting them and telling them, you're so brainwashed, you're still going to vote for me. Hi, my little drones. That's translated. Now, the people that don't vote for Donnie think they have the answer. They know Donnie's crazy, and the people that vote for him, crazy. This group knows. Right? Question. How does that help? Because the only thing you've got is you feel good. But you ain't doing a damn thing. Because you've been beaten into submission. So it doesn't matter where you lie. Do you understand? You don't have choice. Period. You're a prisoner. Period. Years ago, kids were much more mature at an early age. You understand? Much more mature. They were 14 and 15 and 16, even getting married. Okay? That doesn't happen now. Okay? Because what they removed was independence. Do you understand? See, they were independent at an early age. You got books. Not work, not experience, books. That's what you got. The opposite of independence. Independence requires action, requires experience. And math. You got none of that. Books in 4 walls with a repeater in the front. What you have now are parents that aren't mature enough to parent. They're the children running around with their new phones.